Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of Everybody Has a Story with Jeff Seltzer. I am your host, Jeff Seltzer. I guess we're going to officially call this maybe episode 33B or 33 and a half or something. In any event, in this week's episode of the podcast, in episode 33, I had briefly mentioned that I was about to go see the movie Novocaine in theaters. I know per my friend John Spios, a friend of the show and guest from back in the fall, he had said that usually I say when I'm going to see a movie, but don't actually ever follow up and talk about what happened afterwards. So wanted to give a brief summary, not necessarily summary, but I guess review of the movie. This will be spoiler free, so I'm not going to put spoilers in here. But it was a movie that it was just a lot of fun. Definitely would recommend to go see it. It definitely is a hard R movie for language and for violence. But assuming that you're comfortable with both language and violence, it's a super fun movie. Taking a step back, I would say years ago I saw a movie called Crank, starring Jason Statham. I think it was probably roughly 20 years ago or so it came out, give or take. Which is like a fast-paced adrenaline rush movie. Lots of fun, lots of action throughout. This is a movie that I'd compare strongly to it. Long story short, the premise is basically there's a guy, Nate, who's played by Jake Quaid, and he has a very, I guess, rare illness or rare genetic disorder that he does not feel any kind of pain. So I guess growing up and then as an adult, he doesn't go out or do much. He has, all sorts of safeties in his house. If he spills coffee on himself, he won't feel it, so he burns and stuff like that. So little things like that. So basically, he's, he doesn't do much. He kind of stays at home. He meets up with a woman who works with him. They start dating of sorts. And then from there, it's just basic chaos where it becomes, there's a bank robbery. He kind of does some random weird stuff. There's lots of things that it's very fast paced and definitely worth checking out. Lots of really cool scenes in the movie, lots of great action scenes, lots of great music also. I found myself throughout the movie taking a look at glancing at my phone to kind of just make a note of some songs to add to my most recent playlist that I listened to. There's one scene that includes a song by Chicago, "You're the Inspiration," from a long, long time ago, which the song in this scene definitely gives me a whole new meaning and gives me something else to think about whenever I hear the song now. So it was a lot of fun, very different, but really, really cool. So definitely go out of your way to watch it. I think it's released in theaters on March 14th. Pi Day, as they call it, 3/14. And I saw in the IMDb trivia, there was a reference to the fact that cherry pie, I think it was, has a importance early in the movie and was released on Pi Day. I'm sure it's strictly coincidental, but just kind of those funny random references that they put out there. So go out of your way, watch it. It's in theaters now. I assume it'll probably be on Paramount Plus or something like that in the next few months eventually. See it in theaters. I did. If you have to see it at home on streaming, that's the way to do it too. But definitely go out of your way to watch the movie. Lots of fun. Other things to add beyond that, and then I'll call it the end of a bonus week or bonus pod, I guess. There were a number of really fun previews before this movie as well. So one of them I would say is a movie that I've been waiting for since I first heard about it about a month or so ago and didn't realize it was coming out. But after binging the Final Destination movies with my older daughter not too long ago, was really, really excited to see there's a new Final Destination movie coming out. I think it's in May of this year. It was one of those kind of like elongated scenes kind of showing kind of like a setup for the movie. Really, really fun, really cool. Really excited to see where the movie goes, if there's a connection to the other movies in the series, or if this is kind of like a reboot of sorts. But really, really enjoyed the trailer and looking forward to the new Final Destination. Another movie that I saw a preview for before the movie today was a movie called Locked. Really cool premise. Basically, it's a guy who breaks into a car, but then ends up being a trap on him in the fact that it's almost like a Saw or like an escape room of sorts, where like the car is kind of booby trapped and he can't get out and all sorts of things going on. So really, really excited for that one. That movie was called Locked. Another movie that I had seen a preview for today as well. I saw the same preview yesterday, earlier this weekend, I guess, before watching Mickey 17, was a movie called Until Dawn, which I believe they said was based on a Sony PlayStation game that I'm not familiar with. But really, really cool. Definitely a dark horror movie. So definitely looking forward to checking that one out as well. With that said, that's kind of it for this week's bonus episode. So if you haven't seen episode or heard episode 33 yet, take a listen to that. And then take a listen to this one as well, as this is kind of like an epilogue or a part 2 of that episode. With that said, we'll have some more guests coming up. On Monday, we'll have another episode up. So have a great week. Reach out to me, as always, on Instagram at Everybody Has a Story Pod. My personal Instagram at Seltzer77 for all things Jeff Seltzer. Check out jeffseltzer.com. and have an amazing time. Take care, guys. Bye.